what do you think about, like, how do you prioritize rest? How do you prioritize recovery? Or is that even an option for you right now since you're starting up?
So, I mean, I'm glad you added the final point, right? Is that even an option? Right now, it isn't, right? Because, dude, like last 1 year has been messy for not just me, for everybody, right? Being at home with COVID, a lot of people might perceive it to be rest. You're chilling. It is not. It is more demanding than anything else, because you're not even getting a chance to meet people. You're not socializing, right? You're not going out for the drink that you used to do back in the day. You're not catching up with friends as often as you should. You're not going out, traveling back home and getting that off time. Forget about even the trips that you would want to do, because I love traveling, right? And I would like to have a couple of trips every freaking year, right? And a couple of trips is not too much to ask when you're working really hard, right? And you just couldn't do all that stuff, right? So in the last one, if I think about it, right, there were days when I'm like, like, fuck this shit, man. Like, I need to take 2 days off, and I do that. Like, I do nothing in those 2 days, clear everything off. Like, I'm just lying on that couch, checking out Netflix, and that is something that I do, but that is not recovery, because the moment you're back, you're still feeling that, that weight on you. You need to get out. You need to go for that trip for the recovery to happen. And that's not been an option. Even if you can take the time out, that's not been an option these days. Right. So yeah, right now it has been pushing to the limit. As long as you're not breaking, I think it's fine. And also because when you're starting up, you don't really have an option. Right. And trust me, every single day, at least 3 times, I think about, why the fuck am I even doing this? I could just be making really good money working on a job, which I was when I was in my last job. I was making really good money. Right? I could just go back to that, and it's so much peace, right? So much peace. Once you're done at 6 p.m., nothing can actually make you go back to it, right? The level of ownership that a startup takes is nuts. Right. And that's what keeps you awake. Like, as simple as, let's say my ads are not performing well since the last 3 days. Right. With a company, I was like, ads are not performing. CPMs are high. That's about it. You're done. You can't do much about it. But when it's your company, the money is going off your account. Right. So you got to do something about it. I mean, not that you wouldn't do anything then, but that is eating up your mind space. Even if you can't do anything about it, that is eating up your mind space. What should I do? What should I do? What can I do? Can I try this? Can I try that? Right? Most of the times it doesn't work, but you're helpless and it's eating up your mind space. So even when, you have that recovery time, let's say after like 3 calls, I'm sitting on the couch and turning on the TV to watch something. The screen is on, but I'm thinking something else. Right. And whenever I feel this, I'm like, again, goes back to the same point. Why the fuck am I even doing this? Right. But then again, next day you wake up with someone writing me an email saying, Vaibhav, thank you so much. You changed things for me. The motivation kicks back in. And this happens on an everyday basis, like a cycle, right? Something turns me down and something turns me up again. And things that turn me up as an educator is more around, outcomes that my students have been able to get. Right. But everybody has their own level of motivation, right? Let's say you are running an agency, your client coming up and saying, hey, thank you so much. We raised $1 million. Thanks for the work. That will keep you up. That'll get your adrenaline rushed again. Like that'll make you push and work harder again, right? Like everybody has their own things and it's all about balancing that. So yeah, I mean, as long as a negative and a positive is kind of balancing things out, you're good. And if you're more positives, you're always ahead of the negatives. And that has been the case so far. That's why I've been able to push myself. And also, right, on top of that, I think teams play a very, very important role.
Okay.
So a lot of credit for all the work that goes back to the team. So I've realized this over time that, hey, you can't do everything by yourself.
For sure.
You need teams which could pull off things for yourself, even when you're not around. Right. And I've been very, very lucky to be able to build a very small, young, but a kick-ass team who are pure play hustlers. Right. They ping me at 3 in the night saying, Vaibhav, can you jump on a call? We have some ideas we would like to share. I'm like, dude, it's 3 a.m. I just took a break. I was like, Vaibhav, 5 minutes is all it takes. I was like, sure, man. I mean, when your team is working probably equally or more harder than you, then you're also motivated, right? And they are seriously concerned, saying, shit is going down, Vaibhav. We need to get them back on track. I was like, okay, let's get back. Let's get things done. So dude, that awesome. Also is very, very important when you're trying to build something all by yourself. These are the things that keep you strong, right? Your team and the kind of outcomes that you're able to derive from the product that you've built.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I wanted to just hop back to what you said about the Netflix point. I often find myself when I'm, reaching a burnout, right? And I think it's common for a lot of people. We head for Netflix and we head for our phone all day and we just chill, we eat a fuck ton and we just lay back, right? But the same thing happens to me, man. It's like a hangover you feel the next day because your eyes have been strained so much by looking at a damn screen for 24 hours and you wonder why you didn't get good sleep, right? So for me, it's been trying to find out how do I actually, find hobbies within my little area that will actually give me, some respite instead of looking at a screen. And, that's a huge challenge for a lot of people, but I encourage it, go to the gym, do something like that.
I think it has become increasingly difficult to turn off your brain. I'll tell you what I mean by that. Even if you're watching Netflix, you're always on lookout to see if there's a notification on Slack, right? You're always thinking about, damn, how do I fix this? You are watching Netflix, but you're not actively watching, you're passively consuming, right? There are very few things that could, cut down all the noise for me, right? That I've identified. For example, if I'm watching a game of cricket, I'm doing nothing else. My brain, especially if it's towards the end, the last 10 overs, last 15 overs, I'm watching the game, right? Nothing else works. For example, if I'm like I've started this new thing of boxing. When I'm boxing, right? When my coach is here and I'm trying to hit the hell out of the thing, then my mind is not working on anything except for how can I hit this damn thing harder, right? How can I fix my postures? When I'm working out, again, I can't think of anything else, right? Because that's how your body works. Or sometimes when I'm playing a game of FIFA on my Xbox, right? There are few things that you have to identify for yourself on what works great. There are few people that I could talk to, right? Which could potentially turn off everything else because, I'm just like, when I speak with my grandmom, I'm not thinking about a lot about my work, right? Because I'm just trying to understand what she's up to. So you have to find your things which could turn off your other side of the brain. And that is when the real rest comes in, right? Like the real rest happens then.
I agree with you, man.
So taking a day off is not going to help. Turning your brain down is what will help.
Subscribe for more of this good stuff. See y'all in the next one.